Goal for FC Baltimore, scored by number 45, Trey Pulliam.
Well, FC Baltimore didn't waste a single second, folks. 25 seconds in, Trey Pulliam scored after a defensive breakdown. So FC Baltimore lead 1-0 early on in this evening's affair. They're at Warner Stadium in Williamsburg, Virginia. I'm Christian Taylor, Legacy 76, hosting your FC Baltimore. Thank you for joining us this evening. We're on FC Baltimore 1729.com and of course YouTube with Fox Sports 1340. One of only a few spectators in the stadium this evening. I'm counting maybe about 10 or so. And it just finished raining. There's thunderstorms in the forecast, so they're trying to get this game off. It soaked again, the players, before this match started, as it did in Charlottesville, as it did in Virginia Beach. But it dried up as it did in just about every other of those visiting appearances, and we're set and ready to play some soccer. With FC Baltimore already leading 1-0, we'll take a look at how they're lined up this evening. Avion Flanagan gets a start tonight. It's nice to see him back in the starting 11 playing at left back. Aramuse Momo is with Jake Dangler as the two center backs. At right back is Chris DiMartino. Down in the middle, Jade Macias and Perez Bahar. Boy, Bahar's done a nice job when he's just recently come in. He didn't start the year on the FC Baltimore roster, but he's come in, he's gotten some good minutes, and now he's proving to Coach Caranta that he deserves to be in the starting lineup. Forwards, and it's listed at about 4. I think could maybe be considered attacking mids. Josh Fawole on the right side, Tunde Akinlasotu in the center, and Lucas Mendez on the left side. And center forward is Trey Pulliam, who just scored the first goal of the match and scores his 3rd of the year. His 2nd in NPSL, so he leads the team in NPSL scoring. Still tied overall, the team lead in goals, with Jake Dangler at 3. So the start that you wanted if you're FC Baltimore, they're in the maroon, going from right to left. Legacy in the white, left to right. And a game where FC Baltimore really should be picking up 3 points. Legacy has struggled this year. Only 1 win. It's against Charlottesville Alliance. That was before Charlottesville really got the feeling on them. And 2-0 win for Legacy. And that's all Legacy has been able to show this year. Quite a few losses, including some big losses to FC Frederick. 7-0 loss, 9-1 loss. In fact, when we arrived here at the stadium, the scoreboard had read 9-1 in favor of the visitors. So that tells me that the last match played here was that 9-1 defeat at home against Frederick. Right now they're starting off slow, Legacy. But it's the start you want if you're FC Baltimore. 25 seconds in. You know you need 3 points. Stay on top half of the Mid-Atlantic Conference, where Northern Virginia are, and where Charlottesville are. And you have to imagine if you're Legacy, you need at least some sort of points tonight, because there aren't too many matches left. And this season is running away from them, and very quickly, still sitting at only 3 points. Bottom of the table, towards the bottom in the power rankings. They can be called a couple different names. Legacy 76, Legacy, Virginia Legacy is what they were. So when you're walking into the stadium, there's a few more fans are making their way in. There's Dangler. Nice job of getting it back to Quantrell Jones. That's right, forgot to mention that. Quantrell Jones is starting in net for FC Baltimore. But In this stadium, you'll see a couple of their different logos. There's the Virginia Legacy logo, which is more of a shield, and has it kind of has like I think it's a cannon or something on it, shooting a soccer ball out of it. And the other one that they use, which is the NPSL logo, which they are more commonly using this year, is a black circle, a black crest with the state of Virginia on it, with a little bit of green trim in there. So that's what their current logo is, but that was their old logo not too long ago. Pass into Macias. Pulliam didn't get the best of touches. He had Macias helping him out, making a run forward. Flanagan really tackled off the ball there. So, conversation there with the official. That's Jeffrey Wallens for Legacy, playing at right back. Starters, Connor Andrews, number 18, Derek Cook, number 11, Joshua Everard. Here's the curve in, it's loose on top of the net, and it's a header by Fawole, and it's in! Fawole was there at the back post. The keeper Andrews couldn't handle it, and right now, the official maybe wants to mention something with the side official. I wonder if they're whistling it off. Maybe they saw offsides on that. At the moment, they're trotting back to the center circle. And it should be 2-0. So Fawole scores one, makes it 2-0 in favor of FC Baltimore.
Goal for FC Baltimore, scored by number 11, Joshua Fawole.
This is the start that Coach Caranta dreamed of. Here's Fawole, intended for Mendez, looking to make it 3. Stopped by the keeper. Kicked out, but not out of danger yet. Here's Macias. Boy, FC Baltimore are having their way, making it through the defensive line. Pulliam deflected back to Fawole. Fawole with a goal, Pulliam with a goal. 2-0 in favor of FC Baltimore. So throwing on the opposite side there. And Legacy have had a difficult year, especially following what happened last year. Legacy, I know they still didn't have a good regular season, but last year in the Atlantic Conference, every team made it to the playoffs. Legacy took advantage of that. They advanced to regionals, winning 3-1 over Virginia Beach, and winning 3-1 in the final. Down goes Wallens, and Wallens has some words for the official. Rest of the starters for Legacy: Daniel Hoffman wearing number 5, Michael Means number 6, Kendall Pressey wearing number 3, Sean Sharma wearing number 12, Justin Wilson wearing number 7, Michael Wilson, which I believe is a brother, and Jeffrey Wallens, which we just mentioned. So in that, Connor Andrews already seen 2 go past him, including one that he should have brought down, and he had it in his hands. It just popped out, and Josh Fawole was there. Speaking of Josh Fawole, fighting with Daniel Hoffman. Well, Dangler tried to start it quickly, but Legacy were on top of it. But Baltimore able to get it back. See the field surface. Again, it's a turf, but it's more of a carpet field. Nice through ball to Chris DiMartino. Pulliam and Fawole are striking down the middle. Fawole almost got a foot on it. Back with Macias. DiMartino. Baltimore looks so much quicker than Legacy right now as Macias is flagged off sides.
I might have to hold it.
Minutes, 2-0 in favor of FC Baltimore. Flying high early on. As we mentioned, well, here's a chance for Legacy. Well, quickly, before Muse Momo's able to clear the danger. Well, we mentioned the last match against Frederick, you know, when you're watching the World Cup, when it's World Cup season, all you want to do is watch more soccer. I'm sure these players are fired up. Yeah, certainly, I'm sure some fans who are watching this stream right now, you know that feeling. You watch soccer and you just want to go and play. And that's how some of these players certainly feel. A lot of the players watching the Spain and Iran match headed over. Spain won 1-0. So quite a few players pulling for Spain. Coach Caranta and a couple of us interns watched it as well. Down the right side, Chris DiMartino, can he keep it in? He can for an extra second, ends up rolling out. Too much momentum on it. Goal kick. 13th minute, 2-0. FC Baltimore ahead of Virginia Legacy, and now a few more fans making their way in, so now it's not too bad. When this match started, there were about 5 people in attendance, at least when the PA guy was saying the starting lineups. The majority, there were more players than fans, and now it's getting pretty close to about equivalent between players and fans. There are a few more who have made their way here. It's a program that's been around since 1976. Yes, that's what the 76 stands for. That's what they have on their logo, established 1976. Would be cool if it was 1776 though too, because Virginia was one of the first states in the Union. Not the first, Delaware was the first. Maryland's next door neighbors. And actually, not too far, FC Baltimore, where they play their home games at Essex, not too far from the University of Delaware, maybe about an hour away or so. So not bad at all. Here's Flanagan. As we mentioned a few minutes ago, nice to see him back in the lineup. He's been gone the last few games, nursing an injury. Been told that Grant Robinson is due back in about 2 weeks, so if FC Baltimore make it to the playoffs, well, maybe you're looking at Grant Robinson playing an important role. But at the moment, this team just needs to get there. They're in the right position at the moment, in 3rd place. Now, obviously points are important. There's a nice job by Quancho Jones to come out on that. Points are important, but the sorting of the table in the NPSL is by points per game, and that's where it goes here in the Mid-Atlantic Conference. So top 3, and it's based on points per game. Now everybody will end up playing the same amount of games, so you really are looking at points, basically. But when you're looking at stuff early on, so when teams haven't played the same amount of games, that's where you're looking at points per game. And that's where FC Baltimore are 3rd. So even though they have the same amount of points as FC Frederick, and they should be sitting down in 5th place, they're sitting in 3rd due to points per game. Nice job down the left-hand side. Legacy looking to make some sort of effort.
Can we?
Yeah, I feel like we should. I feel like we should be a better feed. Sorry about that, folks. We'll work on technical difficulties, so bear with us, but we're still here. Nothing much happened in that short minute. Still 2-0 in favor of FC Baltimore. The chance that Legacy had, it was wasted. Wasn't too much of a threat, at least. Dangler and Momo, the center backs, able to clear things out of there. But now Legacy have a chance of their own. Rose Bahar was there. He goes down to ground. The official waves it over. He's reaching into his pocket. There's a yellow for Bahar. 18th minutes. So the official felt that he did enough to certainly stop the momentum. And at least from our angle, he certainly did. So now Legacy, maybe with their best chance of the evening, trying to lob one in there. Looked like that was first touch off of a Legacy player, and it goes out for a goal kick. Pressure being applied up top by Justin Wilson. Now back with Aramuse Moba. There's Mendez still in the lineup this evening. There were a couple of matches midway through where he wasn't starting. Here's a chance for Legacy. Nice move, shot, deflected by Momo. Stays around. Well, looped in, and Quantrell Jones watches it go over. Now back to the right side, Fawole. Fawole looking forward, he'll take a shot, oh, it's off the post. Asking for a corner, and he does get it, so perhaps Connor Andrews got a little bit of a touch on it. Enough to earn a corner. First one. FC Baltimore haven't needed them.
Corner kick upcoming for FC Baltimore will be taken by number 4, Jade Messias.
Ciasin to take this. Leading 2-0, 21st minute. Wonder if Dangler can connect on one. Fawole! It's in! Fawole, skies high, gets his second of the evening, extends the lead to 3-0. Boy, FC Baltimore, they needed this. This is stuff out of Atlantic
Goal,
City.
FC Baltimore, scored by number 11, Joshua Fawole, and assisted by number 4, Jade Messias.
Off of a corner, off of the post, and in. Off of Messias' foot. 3-0. Nice work by Fawole. Now, all of a sudden, we have a race for the amount of goals scored. If you're looking at NPSL, Fawole and Pulliam, both with 3. This will be a fun race now. Just see how this ends up the rest of the season. Tunde Kinlasotu, I believe he took the lead for a while, at least after the match against Frederick. He scored 2. Nobody had scored twice in NPSL play. So he had the lead. So now, Fawole and Pulliam gotta battle it out. Pulliam scored the first one 25 seconds in. Fawole scored the second. It was a header, and the third one, which was a header. FC Baltimore easy looking the better side. Macias goes down, holds his face, now he gets right back up. Go the way of FC Baltimore after that whistle. So there is Macias, who just went to ground. Mendes with lots of space in the middle. Now to Pulliam. Chris DiMartino from Louisville. Looks inside to Pulliam. Pulliam tries to get around the defender. Kicked out. Is this going to be another corner? It is. So, they earned their first one of the evening just a few minutes ago, and they're able to score on it. See what the second one does. So that's been a couple of set pieces that Legacy.
Corner upcoming for FC Baltimore, going to be taken by number 4, Jay Messias.
Macias able to get himself an assist on the year. Looking for another. It's not the same spot here. Here's Dengler. He starts with it. It looks like it perhaps got a little bit of leverage on the defender. So I'm going to try and clear their lines here. Connor Andrews, the keeper, plays right in this area. Committed to William and Mary just recently, so that's where he'll be going. There's a lot of talented goalkeepers over there. You know another name, Philip Brino, who keeps over with the Tribe. Brino is the keeper, or at least started, against FC Baltimore when Frederick came to town. So Andrews and Brino will be fighting it off a little bit to see who gets a nice roll. Andrews' dad played 2 years of soccer at St. Mary's College of Maryland. And Andrews is also a member of the Virginia State Olympic Development Program. Corner kick for Legacy. Let's see, Chris DiMartino doesn't agree with that. He'll trot his way over.
It's a Legacy corner. Going to be taken by number 12, Sean Sharma.
This is the best chance that Legacy have had this evening. Goes behind. Offsides is the call. Well, it did hit the back of the net. The official was right on it. So came in from an offsides position. Or at least there was a foul in there. Either way, whatever goal would have happened is whistled off. And now Legacy, they feel like perhaps they can get something from this, at least cut the deficit by a third. They trail 3-0. Good start from Baltimore. Perhaps the best start that one could even ask for. Starting off 3-0. It's already more goals allowed by Legacy here than they did their last match. against Northern Virginia, losing 2-0 to them. How about Northern Virginia too? And we'll see them come to town a couple days from now. Friday nights, CCBC Essex. Such an important match that one is. Now every single one of these is incredibly important. When you have this few of teams, when you only have 6 in the Mid-Atlantic Conference, and you need to make the playoffs by being in the top 3, every single game is that important. That match against Northern Virginia is going to be something else. But Northern Virginia has certainly done a good job in the top 10 in the power rankings. In the NPSL, they're 9. Again, they sort those by points per game, and they've done enough. They've only lost 1. And they certainly showed what they could do when they hosted Baltimore about a week or so ago. They're in Leesburg, Virginia. It's a nice stadium and nice atmosphere, so things are going well over there for Northern Virginia. And they were able to beat Baltimore 3-0. Some wonder goals, by the way. Ben Sauer started in net for that one. He had to make some brilliant saves. And now Polium has a chance. He almost goes down inside the box. He has a little bit of space. He's looking for somebody to give it to. Now he'll go behind. He's still loose. Back with Fawole. Well, they're asking for somebody to show in the middle. Nobody has. Macias to Akin Lesotho. Didn't get it out quick enough, and the defender was right there. Taken away by Dengler. Dengler playing at Loyola, Maryland. Not too far either from CCBC Essex. Actually played there at Essex for a while, Jake Dengler. So familiar to that pitch at least. There's a reason why he's done so well there. And scored those 2 goals against Atlantic City. Right now FC Baltimore have taken a page out of that book. Winning that one 8-5 over Atlantic City. They lead 3-0 here. Scoring 3 goals in 22 minutes to start off this match. It seems to be that Quantrell Jones, too, he's gotten the trust, and Coach Caranta, he started the last 3 matches. Started the draw against Virginia Beach. Got the first clean sheet in FC Baltimore history against Frederick. And here he is starting this evening. So Ben Sauer, a very capable backup, I guess, at the moment. So if Quantrell Jones goes down, goal will still be very well protected. But in those first few matches, we saw some good stuff from Ben Sauer. Didn't allow any easy ones past him. A lot of the goals that were allowed were, again, wonder goals. Like I had mentioned against Northern Virginia, 2 of them were from outside the 18, curling. A lot of finesse on those shots. One against Charlottesville was allowed. Of course, that's a PK. Quantrell Jones had to try and stop a PK there in the 94th minute at Charlottesville. Ben Sauer, he only allowed 2 against Atlantic City when they came to town. Pulled in the very young backup for FC Baltimore. He came in, and it's been his only action so far. Ben Sauer's had a decent year. Of course, only allowing that 1 goal at home against DC United, the home opener. Very memorable match, even though FC Baltimore fell 1-0. It was, again, another one of those finesse shots. A lucky shot, we'll say, here for DC United. And another one there at DC United they allowed. Here's Macias. He'll go for goal. Oh, and Connor Andrews making an important save off his fingertips. Corner kick. Oh, that came almost out of nowhere. Macias felt he could make a rip for goal. He did, but didn't result how he wanted. It was that close
Corner
to
kick
doing so.
upcoming for FC Baltimore. Going to be taken by number 4, Jay Macias.
So after FC Baltimore went up 2-0, they answered not too long after, making it 3-0. Jaden Macias with a good cross off of a corner. Flanagan will try looping one in, and nobody else is there. Andrews has it. A lot of people with some William & Mary connections here. In fact, William & Mary is a 14-minute drive from our exact location right here in Williamsburg. They have a very rich soccer tradition, winning the Colonial last year, making it to the NCAA tournament. In fact, one of the players for Legacy who is not playing tonight, Julian Engo, in fact scored off of a goal, or at least somewhat assisted a goal actually, with Graham Guidry, who plays with FC Frederick. I believe the two hooked up for a couple more goals on the season. So William & Mary spreading out some of their players in this Mid-Atlantic Conference. Very, very big influence in the state of Virginia, especially with Williamsburg's history, and we'll get to that a little bit later. One of the oldest settlements in the history of the United States. '34th minute, 3-0 in favor of FC Baltimore. Great start, and this has been their biggest scoring drought. At least 10 minutes here. Fawole has 2. He goes to ground. Now Fawole's been an important piece this year, also playing at Loyola, so knows Jake Dengler pretty well. To Long Reach High School in Columbia, Maryland. Fawole's dad, he played in India. So his family has a good history of soccer as well. All Patriot League, second team with Loyola. All tournament team. Also played with Baltimore Celtic, and again, just as everybody else just about has on this side. So when tryouts happened and the season began, Coach Caranta, he knew a lot of these players, and they knew what he expected of them. And right now, quite a few of those players have delivered. Spoke about Nate Hall the other night, Coach Caranta and I, and Nate Hall is one of those workhorses. He's what he wants FC Baltimore to be. Nate Hall scoring a big equalizer against Virginia Beach at home. It was a time when
corner coming up for FC Baltimore, taken by number 4, Jay Macias.
Not scoring a goal in 2 straight matches, going over 245 minutes without scoring a single goal. Nate Hall was able to change that. Did not make the trip here this evening. Of course, remember, he was shown a red against Frederick. Here's Mendez. Akin Lesotho adds a tap, and it heads behind for a goal kick. So Coach Caranta has told many times, too, how a lot of the home games, at least, well, not just home games, some NPSL matches this year, the team has been shorthanded. And here's a chance for Legacy. Quantrell Jones backing into his corner. Try a cross, and heads behind and hits that extension netting. Coach Caranta has mentioned how many games they've been short-staffed, and at least on the playing side, they've been able to figure some things out, able to get results. So he's very optimistic about the future. A lot of these players are, finally able to continue to play. Obviously, a lot of players have had injuries, like Avion Flanagan, and he hasn't looked completely himself tonight. Grant Robinson, who's been out, Tyler Gabara, who's been out recently. A lot of players that aren't where they want. Cale Thorne, who should be back against Northern Virginia on Friday. Difficulty with off-season as well. Here's Akinla Sotu. That was a nice pass by Mendez. Back inside the box. Pulliam looking for his second, deflected off of Mendez. He'll take a shot, and he scores! Mendez scoring his second overall, his first in the NPSL. And FC Baltimore take an impressive 4-0 lead in the 38th minute. Well, Mendez deserved that.
Goal,
he started it.
FC Baltimore, scored by number 37, Lucas Mendez, and assisted by number 11, Joshua
Sotu and Lucas Mendez doing a nice job making it through the defense. Pulliam, well, he made a shot which was deflected. It bounced right to Mendez, who was in the right place, and he capitalized. That's what you have to do. I mean, you have to have a lot of skill, obviously, to be able to score goals. But one of the important things about being a forward and playing the game of soccer, there's an offsides, is the ability to be at the right place at the right time. One example, the hop to the World Cup, England beating Tunisia 2-1. Harry Kane, he scored twice, and they were both tap-ins. Well, one with his head, and England were able to win 2-1. Harry Kane, he's the definition of a striker, playing excellent soccer overseas with Tottenham Hotspur. A lot of that just has to be in the right place at the right time, and he certainly was in the World Cup. Andrews, well, he got a touch on it, and he did enough to get it past Pulliam. The offense has been doing very well this evening for Baltimore, leading 4-0 here. I'm Christian Taylor. Coming up on the 40th minute. Not quite there, but we're oh so close. And Legacy may be looking perhaps another loss on the year. Their one win came as the second match of the year against a Charlottesville side who didn't have things figured out yet. Coach John Atkinson over there with Charlottesville was being with Longwood, playing overseas. That's another similarity between some of these new clubs, well, besides FC Baltimore, but with Charlottesville and Northern Virginia, the managers are from overseas. So bringing some of that soccer tradition here to the United States in a growing league, the NPSL. Sure, teams come and go very quickly, but there are those teams that stick around for a while. Right now, FC Baltimore have certainly got a nice following, and success will help that. Akinla Sotu tried. Andrews again. Andrews has had to work a bit this evening. Of course, allowing the 4 goals so far. FC Baltimore leading 4-0. The fans here grown just a little bit, and ever since about the 15th minute or so, the amount of fans that were beginning to trickle in had just stopped. So from what it started and what it is now, it looks all right. At halftime, I'll count how many people are here. But a lot of the fans with their umbrellas up, fearing the rain will come again, which it probably might. At least when we came down on the bus, there was a little bit of a stretch where it was treacherous downpour. And even when we arrived here, you know, it was sunny, but then it got cloudier and cloudier, and then it rained for a little bit. And at one point, it was relatively hard. Saw some lightning. Moved away, and now, as you see, the sun's shining a little bit. Here's Fawole, scoring 2 of the goals this evening. Macias to the middle. Here's Mendez, who has 1 already. He's looking for his second. Past the keeper! Oh, my word! What a pretty goal by Lucas Mendez. His second of the night. They extend their lead to 5-0.
Goal by FC Baltimore's 37, Lucas Mendez, assisted by number 4, Jay Macias.
So Lucas Mendez, he saw that Trey Pulliam and Josh Fawole were up top with leading the team in NPSL goals. He wanted something to say about that. He knows he could score. He now has 3 on the year, and he has 2 tonight, so he's breathing right down the necks of Pulliam and Fawole. Not to mention Tunde Akinlasotu, who has 2. And this is the type of play that Coach Caranta has stressed to his side. You wonder where this was in the 2 matches where FC Baltimore could not score, and they lost an accumulative score of 4-0 in 2 straight matches. And if you're going to add the draw against Virginia Beach, 5-1 combined score in 3 matches. Pulliam, the defense making one of their few stops this evening. Defense just looks flustered right now. And FC Baltimore have weaved through that back line with ease. Clears things up too, because you know, FC Baltimore though, I mean, they have speed, they're able to weave through, but they also have the shot power, so they could go from distance. You saw Macias tried going for goal, which, hey, he almost scored. Certainly opens some things up. And here's Flanagan with quite a bit of space down the left side. Looks to get past the defender. With Bahar, who has seen a yellow this evening. Nice cross in, Fawole. Just past the front post. Goal kick. Fawole was looking for the hat trick. So yeah, we have a hat-trick alert now for Mendez and Fawole, both scoring 2. Pulliam has 1 this evening in a 5-0 lead. Now 15 seconds from reaching 45, and due to the goals, you have to imagine at least a couple minutes are added on by the center official. And perhaps the best half that FC Baltimore have played this year. They've been scoring, but if you want to correlate with what's been going on the defensive end, they've allowed a goal, but it was waved off. And there's the halftime whistle. 5 goals being scored by FC Baltimore. That's the score at half. 5-0. We'll be back in 15 minutes for half number 2. And we'll see what happens here.
Thank you to our sponsors of Legacy 76 Pro, Lumber Liquidators, and Leaf Core. Go Legacy!
On YouTube. Preferiría estar al lado de el director, pero necesitan que manejara la cámara.